Joseph was around 17 years old when he had a traumatic, life-changing event, but it was ultimately orchestrated by God, by divine strategy. When you read the story of Joseph, you'll notice that Jacob, his father, loved him more than he loved his brothers. That sparked jealousy. Now, it's highly possible that his father was feeling the love from God specifically for Joseph, because God would eventually have plans for Joseph that would come to fruition. Now, think about this. At a time period where there was no technology, no Amber Alerts, no internet, no Facebook, no TikTok, no Instagram, no cell phone, no phone numbers to contact the police if you had somebody missing. Joseph's brothers originally plotted to kill him, but then they came to the realization, we can't do that. That'll leave us with a guilty conscience. Let's just sell him. So they sold Joseph to Ishmaelites. This in itself, because they had him in a pit, it was a great point of betrayal. They betrayed him. And this very thing, what was seen from the enemy, a very good plan from the enemy, God's hand was all over it, because this process sparked something that would bring forth Jesus. When they sold him to the Ishmaelites, Joseph was taken into Egypt. When he was taken into Egypt, God eventually prospered him there. Of course, through Potiphar, but then he underwent another traumatic issue by Potiphar's wife, claiming that he raped her, and she had what looked like evidence because she had a piece of his clothing. This is why you can't believe everything you hear, even with alleged evidence. There has to be layers of evidence, because Joseph, he was lied on and he was locked up for it. But even in prison, God prospered him. He was interpreting dreams, all of that. He eventually got out, and God used him with the Pharaoh at the time to interpret a coming famine, which God eventually used for him to bless his family. They sold him into slavery with the intentions on never seeing him again. They were angry about the dream that he had of them bowing to him. And the very thing that they did fulfilled the very thing that they did not like, the dream, because they eventually came to him and had to depend on him to save their entire area and family. But this eventually led to the Hebrews being in Egypt, which eventually led to a Pharaoh to persecute them, which eventually led to Moses, eventually led to them being rescued out, eventually led to them getting the promised land, eventually led to Jesus. I say all that to tell you this: no matter how bad things in your life look, if you are faithful to God, and if you pray and you seek after God, no matter how bad it is, no matter how traumatic it is, I can guarantee you it's a part of the story that God has written for you. And you can't see it now, but it will have lasting effects for the kingdom. The deadline's tomorrow. If you struggle with understanding what God called you to, we're doing a 3-day class on how God confirms your call in dreams and visions and more. Click the link in my story or bio to join.